Hi, what's up? How are we today? It's Mebby, and every once in a while, I think about the fandoms of the 2000s, 2010s, and God forbid, the year 2020, and I realize that I think it is literally impossible to reach that level of cringe, fandom, and unity ever again in the year of 2026. Turns out, I am wrong. It is extremely possible. In 2023, an indie animation came along titled The Amazing Digital Circus, or TADC. The animation was written by Gooseworx and produced by Glitch Productions, and it became popular very quickly. And by, it became popular, I mean the pilot episode of the show has about 500 million views on YouTube, and all the other episodes have about at least 50 to 150, 200 million views. Like, it's popular. Like I said, the show started on YouTube and it eventually partnered with Netflix to be shown on there, and for its final episode it had a theatrical release in AMC's and crazy. And while people's reactions to that finale have been interesting, we're also here to talk about the fandom and the internet's reaction to it. Due to the show getting so much popularity so quickly, the internet has been full of fans, haters, and people that are just in between it all. And because of all of this, the past month on TikTok has been entertaining, to say the least. So as someone who has spoken about many fandoms of the past that I have bore witness to, I think it is only right to talk about the most recent modern fandom that has taken over the internet and what that might say for fandoms in the future. As always, before we start, if you could go check to see if you're subscribed, and if you haven't already, hit that button. That would be so awesome. I would appreciate that so much. And now, welcome to the amazing Digital Circus! So what is TADC? As I just said, the Amazing Digital Circus is an indie animation featuring a core cast of 7 characters and taking place in the digital landscape of a circus, which kind of resembles an old 90s web game. There are so many videos online summarizing the plot and the holes that exist within it and going to different theories and stuff. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm talking about the stuff going on online. But I don't want anyone to be lost in this video, so just in case you've never heard of this before, here's the base plot. Essentially, most of the characters in this show are people who've been trapped in this digital land by putting on a VR headset. They have a cartoonish appearance, can remember everything from their life except for their name, and most importantly, they cannot escape. The names of these people, or our main characters in this game that they're in, are our main character, Pomni, the secondary mains like her close friends Ragatha and Jax, and then you have Kinger, Zubul, and Gangle. You also have Kane and his sidekick Bubble, who are the AI agents kind of this place. They're here with the game, they control what's going on. Well, not Bubble. I don't think Bubble controls what's going on. Kane controls what's going on. When a person in this circus goes insane from disassociation or depression or whatever, etc., they abstract. And abstracting is basically meaning they die. Their code goes corrupt and they can infect other people this way. So they put them in a dungeon in the dark because that's where like they're the most calm or something. I don't know. You don't want to abstract. That's the goal here. So in order to make sure that people don't abstract, because then Kane would have no one to play with, he makes adventures for them to go on every day, and they kind of resemble side quests in video games. And basically that's the majority of the plot for like the first 4 episodes. Like I said, in the last few months the fandom really exploded. So I watched a few of the episodes and I have mixed feelings. I'm not going to try to insert my opinion in a ton of this video, but I feel the need to say that I know a lot of people who do like the show and do like the plot. I, however, do not. I think the concept of the show is gold. I think it's amazing. I think it's so interesting, and it makes sense how so many people got invested so fast. However, as the show went on, I don't know if the runtime was too short, and they were trying to create too many plot lines, too much was going on, and nobody could feel really invested in what was happening, I think. I don't know. I think the show would have benefited from like a 3-season multi-episode run, if that makes sense. You could get into each character, but because of that, a lot of the characters felt like throwaways, or like their plot lines didn't matter, and then they expected us to care, but we didn't. In my opinion, I watched the show. It was very mid to me, but I do understand why people got so invested in it. And also, like I just said, the show ended with a theatrical release, which was an interesting take. Initially, there was so much drama with this show having a theatrical release, primarily because this show is widely accessible for all people on YouTube. And a theatrical release would mean that this thing would be released in theaters, postponed for 2 weeks, and then released on YouTube. So people who didn't live near theaters or didn't have theaters in their country showing it, couldn't watch it until 2 weeks later. And on top of that, they would be spoiled because most of the fans who live near accessible theaters would have watched it. So that was a big thing that was like a drama, no. I find myself partially agreeing with that, but also at the same time, it is so huge for an indie animation like this to get a theatrical release. I mean, this is just kind of unheard of, and I think Goose taking that opportunity was honestly like, yeah, that makes sense. Also, to put the nail in the coffin, this whole ending was in fact leaked like a week or two before it was released in theaters. Like, everyone saw and knew the ending before even going to the theaters. And no, it was not leaked in English. It was leaked in Portuguese. And yes, I watched it on my TikTok on a random day of May, be like, oh, here's the finale. And I will admit, yeah, I watched part of it in Portuguese and I did not think it was good. No. Not because it was Portuguese. I love Portuguese. It's actually a very pleasant language. I just, the ending, the plot was not good. It was just not the ending that I believe this show deserved. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers, okay? This is the ending of the show, the big what if. So how did these people get in there? Are these people going to get back to their bodies? Is there a way out? No, because they're like digital scans of the people. So the people that they're like scanned from are living their life outside. They're just a snapshot of time. So there's no way out. They're trapped there forever, and they still have to not abstract. So yeah, and they were all like, well, let's found family in this together. We're all together, yay! Which would be great. Jack's abstracted. One of the main characters, he's gone. He's actually dead. Why? Because he was a dickhead to everyone, okay? First off. Oh, also, because it's speculated, it's confirmed that Jax is trans, male to female, but also not positive in that. I'm pretty sure because they use Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely for her death montage. Also, like, yes, I relate. I've always thought of using Stevie Wonder's song about his newborn child, his newborn girl, for my death montage. Always thought of that. Yeah, actually. So though it's really awesome that this show got a theatrical release, didn't necessarily deserve it. Up for debate. But don't get me wrong, animation, amazing. Voice actors, amazing. Music, great. Just did not hit the mark on the writing part. In my opinion, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
The amazing digital circus ending would be good if Goose got off her ass and stopped writing the whole show on her Tumblr page. It would be nice to figure out, most of the lore in the show rather than going to an app that people use to write smut.
Preach, queen.
Critical thinking. Let's lose. Put on a think.
Okay, so as you can see, the finale wasn't well received by the fans either. Okay, this is not just a me thing. Now, like I started this video out saying, this show has a very interesting fandom, which was also a key component in the theatrical release. Everybody was making a lot of maybe harsh jokes about the theater smelling, or I don't know, really just the theater smelling was the main part. And I'm not gonna say the place smelled, but I'm also gonna say that this show does have an interesting fandom, and because of current concert and theater etiquette, I'm not shocked it resulted in scenarios like this. This is kind of a basic introduction to how this fandom might function.
Oh my god, it's the emo boy! Hey, emo boy,
That hurts. Yeah, I think that's descriptive enough. Those people sound a little young. However, if they happen to be in their teenage years in 2020, I think we all would have found them in a very specific fandom. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
If anyone spoils, I'll bite their toes!
Oh! If anyone spoils, I'll bite their toes. A completely normal thing to shout in a packed theater.
Don't make me laugh. I have a new adventure for you, and you should consider participating. And if we refuse...
Oh my god. That would literally be me. Yeah, so I didn't go see this in theaters, mainly because of situations like that, you could debate, well, what's the difference between people doing this with this and then people doing like the same thing for like the Taylor Swift Eras Tour release? Dressing up, singing the songs, repeating the lines. I think it's a little different. You know, everyone's kind of seen what the Eras Tour looks like and stuff, and it is like literally just her songs. As opposed to this where I think people who went, it was kind of 50-50. Like, yes, it was a fan event, and that's so awesome that these fans all have a space to get together and watch this. However, it's also a premiere of new content, so people want to watch that like in silence. You can wait for it to be released in your own home in 2 weeks and talk to yourself all you want. Trust me, I talk to myself all the time when I watch a movie or a TV show by myself. However, do I talk to myself when I'm in the presence of others, or more importantly, at a movie theater? Yeah, because that's not necessarily theater etiquette. So I think there is a difference. Again, so excited that they had the space to do this. However, yeah, ton of things that go into this fandom. Some good, some bad, and unfortunately, I'm going to touch on some of the bad. So one of the things that has actually been driving me insane is the fan music for this. A lot of voice actors will actually help in with the fan music. If they have like a song that they like that was written by a fan, they'll do the voice acting for it. Something very notable like Jack's Toy. Okay, hate on me all you want. I actually like Jack's Toy, unfortunately. Now, it does get old after like 2 listens, but the first 2 listens kind of slam. Kind of hit. They're kind of fire. Here's Jack's Toy.
Don't you have any other way of entertaining yourself that doesn't involve torturing people?
No.
Get your Jack's toy, get a little laugh, boy. So you're not down to clown, well, I won't let that get me down.
Now that repeats about like 5 times. So yeah, it does get annoying very quickly. However, first listen is fire. And there's like 2 other really good fan songs. All the other ones are really interesting, and trust me, there's a lot. But recently there have been 2 specifically that have taken over my social medias after the theatrical release of episode 9 that are kind of based on episode 9. These songs are so insane, and I have no clue if they are actually reflective of the fandom or not, but oh my god, I need to share this with someone because this is genuinely my biggest focal stem at the moment.
There's nothing to figure out anymore.
Not enthused, feel real confused. Oh, what a goddamn shame! Congratulations, all of my friends.
Now our salvation has come to an end.
Wait, doesn't he chase her? Wait, I need to see him chase her.
But all that remains
Is this destroyed? Don't
Oh my god, where is he dragging her?
your stupidity is past infinity.
Wait, what the f is actually happening? I don't.
running the show!
Oh. Did he kill Kinger? Oh my god, that's actually I literally can't. And the GIFs that are under these videos, like the comment section is actually the funniest place to be here. There's a very specific GIF I love, and it's a really poorly animated Jax in the bathtub with like a shower head as the mic, and he's going, congratulations, okay, I'm just gonna put it here. Genuinely my favorite GIF on the internet at the moment. And there's another one that came out after episode 9. In this one, dare I say, he's even a little crazier.
From what I saw, we're not real. Just scans of people who are real.
Horrible.
Yes, deep down, I've always known.
Oh,
There's really no way out.
no. Oh, she's abstracting. No. Genko really just gave the f up. She. Oh, and Jax don't gaff.
Genko and Peter too. Jackson,
There she goes.
Guys, I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
As long as we're together.
Oh,
I just
and she's a giant fat blob. Okay.
Queenie's there.
Oh, Kinger, I'm sure she will be.
This is. Why do they look like giant penises? Am I the only one who thinks that? Oh, Jax. Oh my god. This like. No.
No.
God, those animations are so funny, and like I know they're not ironic, and that's the craziest thing about them. But other than that, some of the fan music is pretty good. I saw a lot of people getting Jax and Pomni tattoos like this. Oh. Someone said the amazing digital regret. Oh my god. Jesus, that is so funny. I'm not gonna dive into the amazing digital circus tattoos, because guess what? There's a whole video that could be contributed to that. But I do just want to bring up that that is a thing that is happening. Anyway, if you're wondering, well, if the plot sucks, and a lot of the fandom is doing like this, why do people like the show? Well, a lot of people like the show because the characters are very endearing in it. And there was a specific character who was very endearing, and then was just evil, and that would be Jax. And if you're wondering why Jax was so popular, thirst traps, of course.
If you love me so much, use your words. I'm all ears.
What, did he say that?
Don't make me beg.
Did she say this? I don't. Anyway, of course I'm gonna have a segment of this video where we're watching thirst traps. There's another one.
I want the ability to have sex.
No way.
Just not like I can't lie. I wanna ride, ride, ooh, ooh, baby, ride, ride, ooh, ooh, baby, ride.
I want to emphasize, I don't think Jax is, I think they're evil. But yeah, that was the main thing that I think drew a lot of people in, as well as the ships that involve Jax and Pomni, which is Funny Bunny, I did that, and then Ragatha and Jax, which is Bunny Doll? I don't know, I forgot. Don't say me, no! Anyway, it's actually not that serious. And I actually also want to say the fandom is popular because the editors are on crack. That is the one thing that was consistent throughout this entire fandom's lifespan. I also want to emphasize that cosplayers, artists, fan fiction people, I'm sure everyone, like all of fandom contributed to this show, made it what it is. I don't think this show would have any bones without the fandom, and I think that says a lot. So little round of applause for them. You guys did very good with what you were given. And what they were given was also very cringe. Let's actually round back to the parts that I found a little unbearable about this show.
It's kind of cringe.
You are my
Playthings.
And I get joy out of making you suffer.
I'm the one who causes pain for fun. Dirty liar!
Get out!
Damn it, Jax.
Oh, this is...
What better way to honor Zubal's spirit than
This
by wearing
part is
something
actually
gender
horrible,
freaky,
and
right?
without context, I can't imagine how it is.
I'm glad we weren't too late. Like you guys keep saying, we're all in this together.
You guys.
Now we have nothing.
Jax, please, just calm down.
Congratulations.
We all just need to calm down and figure this out.
Congratulations, Zubal!
Congratulations, all of my friends.
I hate you.
What? Don't act like you don't like it.
Living her best life. And here, I'm just Pomni.
Okay.
I'm just
And even if I
doing a
did,
bit
I
ago.
wouldn't give it to you.
You women need to learn to quit prying all the time.
Oh!
You're not looking too good. You gonna cry? Looking like this?
I'm uncomfortable. Genuinely uncomfortable. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? She abstracted like them all. Wait, where's the one that compares Zubal to Sheldon Cooper? As I'm walking. Wait, where? I just can't. I feel like Goose looked at all the characters was like, how can I make the entire audience dislike every single person here except Ragatha and Kinger? And then she found a way to do it. Going back to the theater, this is my main problem with the fandom. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I think there were a lot of kids in the theater, and a lot of the core base of this fandom is children, despite it trying to emphasize that it is not for kids. Despite its digital landscape and fun colors and bright saturation, it's not really a show for children. And at the halfway point of the series, the writing team was kind of trying to emphasize this.
Where's the intrigue? The stakes?
Not to mention the sex appeal.
Oi, mate! I'm an Australian extremist, and I've come to detonate this bomb that'll release all the world's deadliest spiders into...
Did I come at a bad time? That's a head joke.
I'll throw something together.
You know your way around alcohol, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, this was one of my...
You're an alcoholic. And there's a lot of other stuff. That's like the 5th episode of the show, so I think that's the halfway point where they're like, oh, like, bro, like, we gotta get away. Get away. So by children, I mean, let's say like 12 to 15-year-olds, I think is the main core audience. It's very similar to many fandoms of past that maybe weren't directed towards children. This happens frequently. This is not an uncommon thing. The only problem with it is that there's also a lot of adults in the fandom because that's who it's targeted towards, and then children get exposed to things that they maybe necessarily shouldn't see. That's not good. Definitely not what we want out of fandoms, because we don't want children to be unsafe, because frequently, also with a lot of these shows, sometimes things are sexualized in weird ways, and then there are kinks involved, and then children get exposed to these things and they don't know the context, and there's no internet regulation, and then it just goes to and it can kid up. So just saying. That's my main problem with a lot of fandoms. I just feel the need to highlight it. Obviously, kids are allowed to like this. You can't stop anybody from attaching themselves to a show if they don't understand the full context or full meaning or the full fandom behind it. The kids don't have to do that. Kids are allowed to like what they want. However, people on the internet are not responsible enough to regulate the things that they do in order to keep it safe for a child, if that makes sense. The other part that sucks about this fandom being children is that it generates something that is from hell. Content farms, which I actually just realized that these amazing digital circus content farms existed today. And oh my god, I saw like a 5-second clip from one. Literally insane. So to finish off this video, we're gonna watch some of these together, and I'm probably gonna want to bleach my eyes out. So let's go ahead.
No! What did I say about the pool?
I'm immediately thrown into a space where I feel unsafe. What's happening? What is happening?
Don't ask me questions. Don't ask me questions.
I'm scared. What's going on? Oh, we're playing Twister. Oh.
Mess up my birthday party, all right, buddy? All right.
Shh. This isn't cane, it's cocaine. Correct. So if you don't know, a content farm is basically people who roleplay, improvise random things, usually in very darkly lit abandoned places. And basically they just film a bunch of random shit that doesn't have a lot of effort put into it in the means of creating content, usually directed at like an audience, usually of children, that's going to make them a lot of money. So that's essentially what a content farm is. Let me say, there's a lot more besides just a screaming cane. I genuinely, every single time.
You still tried. What is wrong with you?
Every single time I open one of these videos, I am dropped in a place where I understand none of the context.
Just that, boy. I'm a different bubble.
Why do you sound like Cartman from South Park?
Don't be worried about that, boy.
Congratulations.
Oh, Joe, wait, is that allowed? He's biting Jack.
Won't last too long. Oh, it's kicking in.
What's going on?
Oh, he's abstracting.
Yo, how did that happen? Yo, guys, I think he just made Jax abstract. Yo, he's the one behind this.
obviously directed towards children, which is the reason why they are to blame for this. The children in this fandom are to blame for this specifically. Ironically, so fucking funny. Watching it seriously though is still a painful thing to watch because I kind of hate the children's YouTuber tone of voice. Like I can't handle it. Like the fake acting. I can't actually watch it. In my years of babysitting as a kid, this happened with FNAF. This happened with Bindi and the Machine. This happened with Among Us. YouTube content farms are literally the scariest place on earth for me. I cannot watch any more of that. Anyways, to finish off with this, I do actually want to give a genuine shout out to all the people who create in this fandom, in this community. You guys make this show what it has become. Good for you. That's awesome. However, to everything else behind this show, I literally cannot. That's really all the things I had to point out specifically. What does this say for the future of fandoms? I don't know. I think it's kind of comforting to know that every fandom is always going to kind of fall into the same routine, which is new characters, super cool. Everyone's super excited about the characters. Too many kids get involved with the fandom. It makes things a little bit uncomfortable, but okay. Theater etiquette is never followed. In general, fandom etiquette, especially at cons, also never followed. Eventually, the ending is super bad because somehow the writers f it up, and then the fandom slowly dies. And it is comforting to know after all these years that routine is still followed. And guess what? We get funnier memes from it. Such as like, congratulations all of my friends. Congratulations. Congratulations to Amazing Digital Circus for finally finishing its run. Round of applause for you guys. Thank you for giving me all the entertainment that you have given me in the past month. Special shout out. Love that. And yeah, that's all I had to say about TADC. If you have any thoughts, if you guys are in the fandom, please type that in the comments below. And hey, guess what? While you're down there, you could hit the like button. And while you're down there, you could hit the subscribe button. The majority of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so I think we should fix that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I love you. Bye. You know, guys, I really do just want to say everything you guys do, it just makes me so grateful that you guys stick around for this long, and it just makes me so happy, and I really am so thankful. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious?